This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth, here with another installment of What You Need to Know. And today we're going to be talking about the agenda to destroy the family unit. We're going to talk about Wikipedia's new relationship with YouTube, as they are now teaming up to try and defeat so-called fake news and conspiracy videos by providing informational cues right there on the screen. And last but not least, in a victory for the free press, or freedom of speech in general, we'll talk about my recent win with YouTube as they tried to silence me but failed miserably. So today we can chalk one up for the good guys. And starting things off today, in case you've never seen this, check out this clip from MSNBC where they make the ridiculous claim that you don't own your own children.
We have never invested as much in public education as we should have because we've always had kind of a private notion of children. Your kid is yours and totally your responsibility. We haven't had a very collective notion of these are our children. So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities. Once it's everybody's responsibility and not just the households, then we start making better investments.
Now, I hope that outrages you as much as it does me, because in a free and open society, one would think that the parents would hold the exclusive rights to the ownership over their children. But what do the courts have to say about this? Well, with just a little bit of digging, it's not hard to find their perspective on the matter, and I'll share a number of examples as outlined by the reality blogger in his piece, Cracking the Cult of the Constitution. Marriage is a civil contract to which there are three parties: the husband, the wife, and the state. That's Appellate Court of Illinois, number 5-97-0108. Or the primary control and custody of infants is with the government. That's Tillman versus Roberts. The court stands in the position of parens patriae of children. That's Ayers versus Kelly. Parens patriae, literally parents of the country, refers traditionally to the role of state as sovereign and guardian of persons under legal disability. This is quoting Blacklaw's dictionary in 1979. The state has a wide range of power for limiting parental freedom and authority in things affecting the child's welfare. In fact, the entire familial relationship involves the state. In other words, the state is the father and the mother of the child, and the natural parents are not entitled to custody except upon the state's beneficent recognition that natural parents presumably will be the best of its citizens to delegate its custodial powers. The law devolves the custody of infant children upon their parents, not so much upon the grounds of natural right in the latter, as because the interest of the children and the good of the public will, as a general rule, be thereby promoted. That's Chandler versus Watley, quoting Strickland versus Ware. So, as scary as that MSNBC clip sounds, it does appear to be the case that the state views themselves as the legal owners of not only you, but your children as well. So my God, if there was ever a time to reject government as the immoral and corrupt institution that it is, now is the time more than ever. So what do we do about this, you may be asking? Well, the answer, in my opinion, is really quite simple. We need to stop funding the state through our taxes, because whether you realize this or not, the fact of the matter is, taxation is theft. Or perhaps a better way to put it, taxation equals extortion. I never agreed to this arrangement as a supposed free human being. But what happens when you don't pay your taxes? Well, men with guns show up to your house and they demand that money. And if you still refuse to submit to this cabal, well, they'll throw you in a cage, lock you up, and toss away the key. But they can't do that to all of us, my friends. So I say it's time for a good old-fashioned run on the government. We need to collectively realize and understand that taxation is extortion, and the moment we stop playing into this system is the moment we can regain our individual liberties for not only us, but for our children as well. Be sure to check out the reality blogger's piece. It's really quite the eye-opener. I'll include a link in the description below, and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And moving on to our second story for today, YouTube is going to begin to try to counter conspiracy misinformation videos by putting Wikipedia links right there on the video screen. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki just said at a conference on Tuesday that the company is going to start including links to the online encyclopedia company Wikipedia in an attempt to debunk videos that espouse conspiracy theories. So for example, if you're watching a video about, let's say, the moon landing and whether or not that actually happened in 1969, an informational cue is going to offer additional information for the viewer in an attempt to debunk so-called conspiracy theories. But as viewers of this channel will know all too well, Wikipedia has its own share of credibility issues, as the service allows anyone to edit its content. You could be an expert on a particular subject, or you could be an online troll. Wikipedia really has no way of knowing either way. So they are certainly not immune to their own hoaxes and conspiracy theories. And do we really need to be guided along here like ignorant little babies exploring a brand new world? What makes them think they have all the answers? I personally have made documentary films about 9/11, the Bilderberg Group, the agenda for a North American Union, the Canadian police state, to name a few. So do I think I'm going to see any of these informational cues showing up on my films? Not a chance, because my films are based on solid facts that have been triple checked, and I dare anyone to try and debunk my claims. In fact, bring it on, YouTube. Let's see what you got. They already tried me on that front and failed miserably, which brings me to my third and final story for today, some good news on the censorship front. You may recall that I recently received a community guidelines strike for a video that I uploaded over 5 years ago, titled Sandy Hook Crisis Actor Theories and the Big Picture, and my punishment for uploading such a piece was that they removed my ability to live stream for 3 months. My video was flagged by their algorithm because it contained the word crisis actor. So I disputed this and I filed an appeal to explain to them that I was in fact debunking these theories, because at the time people were making the claim that I was a crisis actor involved in Sandy Hook. Well, YouTube got back to me, and this is what they had to say. Dear Press for Truth, thank you for submitting your video appeal to YouTube. After further review, we've determined that your video doesn't violate our community guidelines. Your video has been reinstated and your account is in good standing. Sincerely, the YouTube team. So you can chalk one up for the good guys, folks. We won that particular battle. #FreeDicks has been freed. But this just goes to show how wrong they can be and how they are prone to making mistakes. So why on earth would anyone allow them to determine what is truthful information and what isn't when they can't even get it right on the Press for Truth channel? And really, this is all the more reason why we need to migrate over to other platforms that I'm on, like BitChute, Steemit, and DTube, because the more we use these platforms that utilize blockchain technology as a hedge against censorship, the better off we're all going to be. So on that note, be sure to check the links in the description to find out how you can follow me on these other platforms, because we may have won this one particular fight, but the battle is certainly not over. Be sure to share this video so we can get the word out about what is actually happening. And don't forget to click on that little bell button if you actually want to be notified of my videos in your subscription feed. And please check us out on Patreon if you haven't already, or you can visit us at pressfortruth.ca/donate, as this channel is only made possible through your continued support. So thanks for watching, my friends, and stay tuned. We've got more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth.